You guys see this here? It's the Mavic Mini 2. DJI released it about 12 months after this guy, which is the Mavic Mini. I got suckered into buying it. Let's go ahead and jump right into a little cinematic B-roll I shot with the Mavic Mini 2, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So in this video, we're actually going to compare the two. Is it worth upgrading the Mavic Mini to the Mavic Mini 2? Or should you just stick with your Mavic Mini if you already bought one? But before we take a look at that comparison, let's take a look at what comes in the box for the Mavic Mini 2. So taking a look at what came in the box, it came with this carrying case. This carrying case carried everything that's in the Fly More combo, and for any DJI drone, I definitely recommend getting the Fly More combo. It comes with all the bells and whistles you need, and you're just gonna end up purchasing things after the drone if you don't spend up to get the Fly More combo. For the Mavic Mini 2, it costs $100 more. The Mavic Mini 1 was the same exact way. All in all, definitely recommend getting the Fly More combo. Now this carrying case, it's a little big for me. I'll probably end up buying something on the aftermarket that's smaller and better for storage, for traveling. But it's a really good durability case and gets the job done. And of course, it comes with the Mavic Mini 2. All in all, looks pretty similar to the Mavic Mini. One of the things that they changed was here, there's orange stripes on the propellers, and it's easier to see when it's flying compared to these white stripe guys here. So that was kind of a nice thing that they included on there. But all in all, it looks pretty similar. I can't notice too many differences. I think there's a vent or something like that that's a little different, but that's about it. Now, one of the bigger upgrades with the Mavic Mini 2 compared to the Mavic Mini was the controller and the inclusion of OcuSync. Now, I really like this controller. It feels very good in the hands. And one of the main differences is you mount your phone on top now, and I don't really care whether it's on the bottom or the top, but it does seem to fit a lot more phones and cases and stuff like that. Another nice little feature is you can store the wire underneath this thing, so that way for when you're traveling to different places, it's there and accessible and you don't have to go searching for a wire to plug into your controller. Another couple different things on this is you can actually switch between Cine, normal mode, and sport mode on here. On the Mavic Mini original, you had to do that on the phone, so it's just like a little convenience thing. Another thing is you switch between your camera and your video camera here with this button. And the other things are pretty much normal. You have a return home button here, and one of the things they did change is the back here. You used to have a button here and a button here, one for video, one for film. Now it's just both here, and in order to switch between film and video, you click this button and then click that to record. And the pan up and down scroll wheel is here, and it's a very well built controller. I was testing it out a bit. It feels a lot better in my hand. I feel a lot more confident flying with this controller, and being able to like turn and do cinematic motions with this controller, it just felt a lot more normal. Comparing them both side by side, as you can see, this one's quite a bit bigger. So as far as like, you know, you're making a Mavic Mini and you think you want to have like a more packable, more transportable type drone, but honestly, I like this controller so much that I don't care that it's quite a bit bigger. And of course, one of the other things that come in the Fly More combo is this battery pack with 3 batteries. One's in my drone right now. Not much you can say about this. They updated it a little. I have heard rumors that the Mavic Mini batteries does work on Mavic Mini 2. I don't know if it's actually supported, but it does work. I don't think I'm gonna test it. I don't wanna risk it. But these are the batteries that came with it. They're gray instead of black, like the Mavic Mini. And from what I've read, you get 31 minutes of flight time out of this drone, which is 1 minute greater than the Mavic. I can't believe that. They did such a good job in the construction of this drone. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and play raw flight footage from the Mavic Mini 1 and the Mavic Mini 2, and I'll denote which one is which down in the bottom. And also go ahead and talk about some of the key upgrades the DJI Mavic Mini 2 has versus the Mavic Mini 1. So diving right into it, the Mavic Mini 2 is basically just an older brother to the Mavic Mini 1. The video quality shoots in 4K 30 FPS compared to 2.7K 30 FPS for the Mavic Mini. The Mini 2 can shoot in 24 frames per second and 25 frames per second to get that really good cinematic looking feel. I've noticed in the Mavic Mini 2, the natural motion blur looks a lot more realistic, looks a lot more cinematic. Another key feature that they added on to the Mini 2 is it now has 4x zoom, whereas zoom wasn't supported at all on the Mavic Mini. One of the biggest upgrades for drone pilots is that the Mavic Mini 2 can actually shoot in RAW format for photography. That means you can edit the crap out of it in post, whereas the Mini 1 doesn't shoot in RAW, so you can't really over edit it without looking like crap. Now, one of the biggest things I noticed was the performance in the air. It felt a lot smoother. I felt like I had a lot more control of it, and while it wasn't that windy of a day, it still felt better. I flew both drones on the same day, and the Mini 2 just feels a lot better in the air. It felt a lot more confident in the air. I was able to control the angles of the camera better. I was getting more cinematic looking shots when compared to the Mavic Mini. Another big upgrade is OcuSync 2.0. The Mini 1 had Wi-Fi. I lost connection a lot, especially flying in the mountains and in forests. It had an original max quote unquote range of 4 kilometers. Never got close to that. And honestly, just flying it, I lost connection a lot of time. It just wasn't pleasant. But the Mini 2 is OcuSync 2.0. Max transmission range of 10 kilometers. Granted, never gonna fly at 10 kilometers, but within that 1-2 kilometer range, it gives me a lot of confidence that I'm not gonna lose signal like I did with the Mini. And a couple other little small features that they increased was a couple quick shots they added, and you can see in this image here what they did add. I'm not really a big fan of quick shots, but it's there if you guys want it. Another thing that the Mavic Mini 2 has, which the Mavic Mini doesn't have, is a hyperlapse feature, which is pretty cool, and I think I will use that. Then again, that seems like a software update. I feel like they can definitely just add that to a software update on the Mavic Mini. I doubt they will. Why would they? They're a company, they need to make money. But it's there, I like it, I'll probably use it. So that was the raw footage. What do you guys think looked better, the Mavic Mini 2 or the Mavic Mini? Could you tell the difference? Could you see a slight difference? One is in 4K, so you should be able to see somewhat of a difference. Let me know down in the comments what you think below, what you think looks better, if you think the Mavic Mini 2 is worth the upgrade, visually speaking, or if you think the Mavic Mini is just sufficient enough, whereas if you're just looking for picture quality, and that's it, not the control, not the photos, is it worth the upgrade? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. That was a comparison of the Mavic Mini 2 to the Mavic Mini. In my opinion, it's definitely worth the upgrade to the Mavic Mini 2. It just feels better in the air. It's more quiet, which I don't know how they did that. It feels better in wind. The control in controlling the camera and getting good cinematic looking shots with the movement just feels all around better with the Mavic Mini 2. And while I think this camera might be the same sensor, I don't actually know. It kind of seems like they just made a software upgrade to the camera. You know, the Mavic Mini 2 has 4K resolution compared to the Mavic Mini, and honestly, for a YouTube setting, it's not that much of a difference. Where I really felt like I was getting better shots was the control in the air with the Mavic Mini 2 compared to the Mavic Mini. You know, the extra resolution with the 4K is nice too, but really the control is where it's at. Anyways, guys, it's up to you whether you think the Mavic Mini 2 is better than the Mavic Mini 1 or worth the upgrade. If you are first flying drones, getting the Mavic Mini used on eBay, probably for around, God, it's gotta be sub to $300 now for the Fly More combo, compared to the $600 Fly More combo for the Mavic Mini 2. This might be a good first test drone to get your feet wet, but if you have the extra money and you're getting your first drone, get the Mavic Mini 2 combo in my opinion. Like I said, it's still up to you guys, but this is definitely what I recommend. And as far as is it worth the upgrade? It's close. I mean, if you like that control factor in the air, or you want raw photography, Mavic Mini 2 is worth the upgrade. Sell this on eBay, use the money to buy this. But video-wise, like I said, the control in the air is better, but it's not bad for the Mavic Mini. So worth the upgrade or not, it's to be determined. It's really close. I liked it. I'm happy I upgraded. You probably would be happy too, but at the end of the day, it's you. So anyways guys, if you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.